Okay, so I've been sitting here for a minute doing the pre-messages, and out of nowhere, some guy comes walking up my driveway here unexpectedly, yelling, and he's at the wrong address to take some pictures. So that was random. And then I'm sitting here looking at some pre-messages that I was laying out for the viewer. And I used the Akashic Tarot and set out a bit of a Celtic cross here, wondering what was going on in the viewer's situation for the collective today. I'm not sure if this is going to be the Daily Dharma. I think I'm going to let this be a standalone reading because it seems like it's going in a different vibe direction. So you come out with this lightning bolt epiphany here. It comes out as 8 of Forces, the lightning bolt. And as I'm clarifying this, I got the Page of Swords. So what I was getting with the lightning bolt was it was something that hits close to home. See the home in the background there, but it's hitting the lineage in a way here. And so it may be karmic. Here we have the Page of Swords, and I'm getting that you're looking into the details of something. There was some kind of epiphany or a spontaneous intuitive nudge to look into the details of a situation. And crossing you comes out as the Queen of Forces. So you're balancing facts and illusion in some type of a situation, looking at the light and the dark, so to speak. And it comes out with this 8 of Pentacles. And that's where I stopped, because what I was hearing was like you're looking into the details of a situation here because there's something going on at work with the 8 of Pentacles, or something such as that. Could be a group endeavor or something that you're working on. There's some kind of something about money. And under the deck came the Devil. Okay, so let's start there, and I'll tell you what else is here on the desk as we go through. How about? So at the basis for the reading here, we have the chess game, 3 of Keys. And what I'm getting with that is that in the foundation of the situation, it's like I was getting that something is rigged against the good guys in a way, because I was getting that this was in a courtroom. So if that's specific to your situation, that might be. But it was that everybody's tactical, everybody is strategic in the situation. And so the basis of the situation, to clarify that, that's too many cards. Let's settle down here and find out, what is this chess game? We have the 6 of Wands, which is all about ego, arrogance, and winning. And so there's some kind of like everybody just wants to win. Oh, that was the other thing. I'm still itching because right as soon as I flipped that last card, the 8 of Pentacles, I was getting these little bitty tiny bugs, and they were on me and they were like biting. It was so weird. I haven't had that before. And then there was like 3 of them. I got them off, and then I surrounded myself with some good vibes, and no more bugs. So there's some type of situation that you may need to create a perimeter around yourself. So in the pre-messages as well, I did a meditation before the random gentleman swung by here, and it was something about, it was this imagery that came through a few days ago, and it's that the inner sanctuary, the self, the temple of self, is much like a home or a castle, and then the perimeter around the home is like a good fence line or a moat around a castle. And so we then have to gain or grant access to individuals by dropping the drawbridge and something like that. And so I got here self, temple, castle, moat, bubble, the bubble around you. There's those bugs again. And then I wrote intruder, question mark, in parentheses. And then a few moments later after that went through, I was getting this image and some information about, in the vision, it was specific to Hawaii. And it was talking about ships that are at sea to to be considered part of the country or the state, there's something that they're forced to port so often, or in some type of interval, and I wrote it as to pay homage for, which is coming through as like home age, for the political and not the practical reasons that you would expect. And I was getting this explanation of, well, we wouldn't want a whole bunch of boats along the coastline. It would look so ugly and people wouldn't want to look at that. And then I was thinking, but what's the difference? Because they've got all these hotels and skyscrapers. Is that better to look at? And so I didn't necessarily want to bring those pre-messages, but I'll just leave them there. If they come out, then they'll come out. It might not be for everybody. Under the deck now, we have the King of Cups. So this is somebody who is coming through with an emotional pull, it could be emotional intelligence, but this might talk about in that way that in this chess game, you won by virtue of your emotional intelligence. You won by what I believe is walking away, because we show you in the recent past moving forward and looking at all of your options here and bringing your intellectual property with you with that bag full of scrolls. You've got all the lessons, you've got your totem animals kind of guiding you along the pathway, and one's lit up and the other two are shadowed. So it seems like you've been looking at other opportunities and things like that. So let's get a card on that recent past moving away from the chess game. Okay, we have several, but they flipped over, so we'll take them. Under the deck, we have the Ace of Swords, so there's been some clarity and truth. And the three that flipped were two majors. We got the Wheel of Fortune, 10, Four of Swords, and the 4 Emperor card. So there's something where it's a fated change, and it seems that you've been taking your time and evaluating things. You've been resting and recuperating, because it seems like this chess game, in order to win that, it costs you some type of energy. But it seems like you're taking charge of your destiny in this way, because it's like you're understanding the cost of not being true to yourself, and so you're moving along. But yeah, it seems like there's something going on here, and so I'd like to get to the bottom of that. So we've got 2 cards popping out to clarify this is kind of the what's in your hopes, fears, on your mind. We've got the Scribe. It looks like you've been doing a lot of research, evaluation, looking at the details of a situation, reading a lot, writing, taking notes. It's very busy keeping your head down and getting something done. And the 2 cards that come out to clarify are the 10 of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. So for a few of you, this might be a family situation with the 10 of Cups here. Doesn't have to be. So it's something that it seems like it's something that you're working on for yourself. It doesn't seem to be necessarily related to whatever you're walking away from. It's like, I kind of feel like there's a part of you that's just left that in the past. And the underneath of the deck is kind of split here. We've got the 4 of Wands and then the 9 of Wands, talking about committing to new things while being aware. It's like the veteran aspect of that is like understanding what we're leaving behind and being wiser for it. And so this 10 and the ace here seems like working towards your own endeavors, something that's going to bring you a lot of hope and financial abundance here. So it looks like you're working on something to do with your business goals. And now we've got the 8 of Wands again here. So this thing that hits close to home is the 8 of Wands. So I don't know what that bite is. What is that? All these bugs. What is going on for you? I kind of want to pause. We're going to pause here in one more card and get some handwritten cards to really draw in what's going on. 6 of Pentacles. Okay. And Queen of Wands under the deck. So in the near future, you've got 8 of Roses, Sangha, community, and it's giving that you're moving into brighter communities where there's more opportunities for growth, abundance, and exchange of ideas and laughter and good vibes. And with the 6 of Pentacles, that's all about being able to get what we deserve, to replenish in equal measure, equal exchange. And so it's like a potluck, you know, you get fed, but you also get to try all these great other dishes that other people put together. So you get an amazing buffet for the cost of one dish. And it's so fun to sit and talk and be with others at the right time, right? And with the right people. And I think that that's what it comes down to, especially with the 6 of Pentacles, because sometimes that can be known as the breadcrumbs card. And with Queen of Wands underneath, I think that you shine really brightly in group context. And so you want to go someplace where you're being valued for what you bring to the table and appreciated and not competed with. It's like if the people in the community don't know how beautiful and amazing they are, then if you come around knowing your value on any level, you're all of a sudden with a target on your back. And so that's kind of the way it's coming through. And so, yeah, the thing that you may have called out is just that, exactly, it's an unloving dynamic. Because now we have this Ace of Cups coming through. And it's to clarify yourself in the situation. And you're coming through as this King of Keys, which just prior to this reading, I was doing a reading just before this, and both the King and the Queen of Keys came out, and they come out here again. Now an ant. Lots of insects crawling around. The microcosm may be important here. So I've noticed that the King of Keys here, in your energy, you're in this masculine vibe of looking for your homestead and to come back home to that place. And remember, we were talking about in the pre-messages way before I put these cards out about the castle with the moat. And then it's like so it seems like if you're the masculine, then that makes sense for you to be represented in this way and wanting to be crossed with this equalizing force that came out in the initial with the 8 of Pentacles. And it seems like you, even if you're the feminine, it's like you're on this masculine vibration of, clearly you've got your mind on your money, but also on love with the Ace of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups coming up there in that position. So this masculine-esque King of Keys here, with clarified by this Ace of Cups, is very beautiful for those two positions, because it's like you're coming through very balanced, very precise, very illuminating. Like, you say what you mean what you say, and you're integrating the light and the dark aspects of yourself. And so whatever you're working on here is going to pay off in love and in money. And so you may have felt like it was almost impossible to have both things at once. But due to the recent past of being able to follow your bliss more so with this Paths Unknown card instead of staying in the chess game, it's like you went AWOL in some type of a way and jumped off the chessboard. It's like people are like, well, you got to stay in this box, you got to play this game, and you're like, no, and you exited the situation. And so it's again enabling you to stabilize this fortunate and lucky destined event or encounter for some of us. So very good. At least you're following your heart, and your heart is super full because you love yourself enough to continue to go until you find your home base. And so coming through with the way others see you, you're coming through as the King of Scrolls. So you're also this master of knowledge and ability to understand. So you're coming through very intellectually, I'm hearing a lot of noises over here. It's an interesting noise, but very intelligent, very cunning, I keep hearing, strategic and skeptical as well, so very discerning. And coming out with that is this Three of Wands. And so you also have a lot of foresight because you pay attention to the patterns, and you have this creative capacity to keep motivated, to keep plugging away, to not just, oh, well, I'll do it in the 10 minutes before the meeting. I'll write down what I wanted to recap from the last meeting. It's like, no, you got to take the meeting minutes in person, and then later you got to, recap. But in between, there's a bunch of deliverables that can be done. And so in whatever capacity, people are seeing you very, very equipped and perfect for the job. And so, yeah, you come through it with a very abundant and very secure situation, because look at that. That is a beautiful fence, is it not? Around the homestead, for instance. And so somebody's very guarded in that way. And so you're able to see this new trend before it happens. And so whatever you are setting yourself up for is going to pay off very, very soon. So keep taking these notes. I'm hearing that we're moving into the Hunter's Moon, and I'm seeing under the deck now we have the Strength card. So even I'm hearing also, don't be fooled by the optics. So it may look like your algorithm won't break through. It may look like you're never going to meet the person of your dreams or find the next housing situation of your dreams. But you can manifest something that doesn't follow the normal trends because of the unique capacity that you have to be in the right place at the right time, right? So you're able to get something like buy when something is very cheap, and then sell when it's high and make a gain by sticking with something for the longer term. I'm not giving financial advice. This is entertainment purposes only, just for the folks that want to flag everything. So coming through as your perspectives here, we've got Archangel Gabriel and we've got the Fool. Beautiful. So Archangel Gabriel comes to make a declaration, to show us where the truth lies, and they tell us a lot about our capacity to invoke change by the use of our energy, our commitments, and our personal alignment to our inner truth that speaks so clearly through our vibration that it rings like a bell. And so it's like that's what we've been talking about in more recent times. So it looks like this is also related to the paths unknown, because the Fool wants to take Archangel Gabriel's advice and just make this new leap of faith. Under the deck now we have the Death poking out, but the Ace of Swords. So you're getting all of these aces. So again, don't be fooled by those optics. You're stronger than you realize. You have the capacity to pull through. And everything that you have done up until now is laying a firm foundation so that whatever comes next for you in your endeavor is going to be strong, sturdy, and ready to stand the test of time. So it looks like it's a heartfelt endeavor. And the first, oh, we got 3 right in a row, and 3 was what I was looking for. Beautiful. So previously, the 3 outcomes, as promised, we do have the Queen of Keys. And remember how he had that castle in the background that he was coming home to? Look at how she is standing on top of the castle and delighted to greet him as he comes forward here. And so it's giving that somebody's coming home to you, perhaps, or that you are wanting to come home to something. So yeah, so there's a lot of foresight and expectation here. And it comes out with Hilarion. Ascended Master Hilarion is the scientific, astrological, astronomical, and chemical researcher. He's very clever, strategic, and so on. Very experienced and discerning. And so it seems like the way that others are viewing you is similar to Hilarion's energy, this master of information. And so you have all of this capacity to understand things beyond normal capacity. And it's because you're potentially channeling some of this ancient information that's working through you in some way. And you have this powerful ability with the Two of Forces to regenerate, possibly based on that information or because of the information that you hold. Let's say you know how to rebuild your chemical, nutritional, cellular health, which helps you to restructure your whole body systems and helps you to remain youthful and seem like you're not even aging, for instance. It's like being able to regenerate based on this ability to understand the scientific precedent of whatever you're working through. And it seems like this is your product that you're launching for the world. And it seems like there's something hitting close to home again here that you're finding out about through the workplace, that you're able to balance some aspect of self or something in such a way that garners some attention in this way and potentially brings something home to you that you have been really desiring with your whole heart. And there's love and money in the cards here, as well as personal success for being strategic in the right ways, not wasting your energy away in being strategic with ego games, but being able to utilize that as a tool for personal learning and to be able to take all of that learning to move forward and to be a boss with your energy. So clarifying this, the Queen, Hilarion, and the Willow, the regenerative ascended master, is the 10 of Wands, 5 of Cups, and the 4 of Cups. So the 5 and the 4 of Cups together are about emotional losses or lack and emotional feelings of not being pleased or happy with what we have been offered. But together, the 5 and the 4 become the 9 of Pentacles. And so, again, we're talking about how this lightning bolt here, something that you understand about that's very close to home, is having to do with how you're viewing and perceiving on the intellectual level some kind of lack or boredom in things instead of creating the change, being the change. And I'm not saying that's going on. Oh, I was going to get some of these cards. And the 10 of Wands is about the struggle bus mentality. And so it's telling a couple of different stories. It looks to me like there's been, sorry to shake the camera, my cards are stuck under the tripod here. It looks like somebody's kind of gotten caught up in other dynamics and, yeah, oh man, over here under the deck, I forgot to show you, the 9 of Cups. You gotta be kidding me. 9 of Cups, the 2 of Wands, and the Magician, and the 5 of Pentacles. So, again, with these bugs on my glasses on the inside. So, isn't that interesting? So, perhaps it's more, like I said there, about having all the resources at your disposal here and having the wherewithal to put the pedal to, what is it, to put the pedal to the pavement? That doesn't seem logical. 9 of Cups, though. 9 of Cups. Exactly. It's so interesting. So, yeah. 10 of Cups is already out here, and the Ace of Cups. So it's like we've got the 10, we've got the 9, and then we've got the 9, and we've got an Ace. So easily enough, all of these cups can be put into a feeling of wish fulfillment. I did get the wishes fulfilled card in the Akashic Tarot earlier. And I'm also seeing now that Saint Germain is under the deck. Initiation in the Count Saint Germain. I had forgotten to show that one. And the Ascent. And I remember one more. Balance kept coming out in the pre. The Master Artisan seemed to represent yourself recent times, and the Sands of Time seemed to represent something about patience and sticking with something even when the optics don't show evidence of the breakthrough. It's coming. So the first card out is Wounding to Liberate, Unnecessary Evil. Maybe there was something that you had to say or to speak when you left this chessboard in your foundation where you had to call something out. For many of you, this could go as far back as childhood and being stuck into some kind of dysfunctional dynamics. And so we've talked about that at length at different times because it is a theme that comes up in my readings for obvious reasons. Get out of hermitage for a while comes up with Chiron, and I was getting that earlier that there's a lot of wounding aspect here with feeling this boredom, and the lack mentality in love and money is forcing you internally, not forcing, you're choosing to possibly stay small and just stay to yourself because it's so much easier to stay in your own energy. But there's a lot of creative energy that gets riled up every time that we get mingling with others. You have also gifted secret talents are available to you. Exactly. You've been coming out with this channeling of Hilarion. Legalities, 3D contracts, disputes, escalations. Remember, we saw that courtroom image coming through, but it did come through with winning by virtue of emotional intelligence. So keep it simple. Don't allow optics of a situation to drown you in fear or anxiety at this time. There's something about your ability to break through and have some type of epiphany understanding, specifically if you are scientifically minded or something like that. Now, I did get a new phone. Here's the moment of truth. Is the timer still going to expire on me at 33 minutes, or do we now get longer videos? Your sense of style is just someone's vibe. Yeah, so keep it simple. Focus on what you bring to the table. You've got a lot of secret talents that you've kept to yourself in this hermit space. Somebody's got unexpected feelings deepening here. Normal is overrated. Belong to yourself. That's beautiful. And let's see, anything else? I feel like there's nothing to somewhat worry about with these other individuals we were talking about earlier, but let's see now what comes out as I say that. And some cards don't want to go back in the deck. All right. What do we have? We have face up. Religious factors. I don't know if this is a group of individuals that are having differences of basis or opinion, like family or origin versus your growth in spiritual understandings, or this could be at a religious place, for instance. And it could just be your alignment and commitment to spiritual factors. It comes out with chemistry, again with Hilarion talking to us about the chemistry of a situation. And so you may follow more hermetic principles in the alchemical marriage. So maybe that's the religious factor here. I don't know if I can keep my hands to myself. It could be vows, class, culture, consciousness, or it could be money, feeling like you are less than, or maybe you were brought up to believe that you were a lower class. There's somebody here also playing with some glamour hooks, femme fatale, black widow. So be very careful when someone wants to emphasize certain aspects or certain vibrations to an extent, especially online. There are so many individuals with all their filters and so on. Breadcrumb trail, follow the clues. Exactly. There's some type of research epiphany that you are able to follow, perhaps about chemistry, DNA, some type of investigation that's going on here. Passionate, intense. Interesting. Family heartache. Exactly. Excuse me. I'm getting same old story, same old song and dance, my friend. Loose ends need to be tied up. There's an instant attraction, 2222. So there's an instant chemical attraction going on. So a lot of magnetics, and somebody has some loose ends and legalities, so they may be ending a relationship, especially with family heartache. It might be the ending of a long-term or a family dynamic that is taking somebody into unknown paths, but it looks like they're getting all fired up and going in a new direction. So with this lightning bolt epiphany, maybe it's the epiphany is that something is like it wasn't supposed to happen like this or right now, or yeah, let's get a few more. We're getting rooted and unshakable with suspended animation, surreal, frame by frame revision. So something is replaying in someone's head, and it's a memory that is rooted and unshakable in their memory. It's like it became a core memory, no matter the age that this individual experienced this thing. It is sitting very, very firmly within someone's chemical makeup, especially with the Chiron wound showing up here. But Chiron comes to, man, I wish I had some water out here. Chiron comes specifically to activate something within us so that we can understand that we weren't wounded for nothing. We were wounded to activate the healing aspect of ourselves. And so you're activating yourself and others by staying true and aligned. Oh, I'm seeing the video is continuing. I hope you guys don't mind a longer video. Let's get this out. It says, can't take away my dignity. All right, Whitney, is that a fact? Tree of Life DNA, exactly. Something that hits close to home. So there's some type of pattern, a core wound or core memory happening within your family tree, this family heartache. Oh, and it's coming out with, I drink alone. Yeah, with nobody else. Just me and my friend Jack Daniels. That's all I ever need. And QRS and T under the deck. So past life influences infiltrating the situation. So that's interesting. So somebody may have grown up with an alcoholic in their family, or they have some type of numbing behaviors going on that they're wanting to correct right now. But no matter how hard the situation was, it's like you have maintained a steadfast dignity, and you've walked away from the chessboard and from the illusion that you had to participate in that old, perhaps scapegoat dynamic from the past. And so you've been able to turn the wheel of destiny and become your own divine emperor, my dear. And it's like you don't mind working when it's time to work, and you also don't mind resting when it's time to rest. You have healed a very long-term karmic pattern operating in your DNA, and you're now okay. So whether you're masculine or feminine, because I'm reading for a general audience here, of course, we have both dynamics coming in. So get in where you fit in. But now we're getting secure, intentional feminine, directed leadership, empowerment, potential. And so when you're over here playing drama games, then you're wasting your potential, and you saw through that dynamic and delusional ego game. You had nothing to prove. And so you what's that? Not escalate, activate, ascent. The ascent. Yeah, it's part of your ascension to balance out situations that you encounter with your empowerment. And something is going to shift next 24 to 48 hours. Oh, okay. So something from your deep past that we were talking about here has created a censorship of your light. And so you're getting this, you've lost your muchness. You were muchier before. And so somebody kept trying to censor you or to keep you down or tell you that you needed to stay inside some type of a box. But you do the work. And so now you're over here escaping this box, this jail cell, this bird cage, and taking flight here because you've done the work. And so now you've earned this celebration. And so this flex is you starting to earn more money and gain more positive, supportive interactions in everything that you do. Just walking down the street, people nodding and giving you a little smile instead of being like, hey, buddy, you know? Resolution, conflict, mediation. So again, with that courthouse reference, they mistake your high vibe happiness for an easy life and a carefree mind, but luck has very little to do with it. So, all right, my dogs are telling me it is time for me to get done with this. Let's close us out with some animal totem cards so that we have a bit of direction from Spirit. So yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of love, a little bit of money, a little bit of drama and conflict, and a lot of ascension and elevation for yourself in this time. Absolutely. So the card that flies out is Elk, Nobility. Celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. What did we just say? Exactly. They can't take away your dignity. You are nobility. And because of the way you alchemize everything that came through you, you're not going to stay there with your hand in the flames. No, it burns. So you moved away to calmer waters, so to speak. Under the deck we have the Penguin with authenticity. How perfect is that? Reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. So I'm kind of hearing that happy feet again. So yeah, there could be some estrangement in that regard. So I feel like getting you just one more shuffle, one more deck for those that are with me still. Because with that family heartache, I feel like there's some... It's like, yeah, they can't take away your dignity. You're ascending, but there's something here that you are forced to leave behind that you are wondering about. Okay, we're getting number 23. Express yourself completely, then keep quiet. Be like the forces of nature. When it blows, there's only wind. When it rains, there's only rain. When the clouds pass, the sun shines through. If you open yourself to the Tao, you are at one with the Tao, and you can embody it completely. If you open yourself to insight, you are at one with the insight, and you can use it completely. If you open yourself to loss, you are at one with loss, and you can accept it completely. Open yourself to the Tao, then trust your natural responses, and everything will fall into place. Exactly, because remember, you came through with that emotional intelligence and the ability to keep it simple and to flow with something. And your authentic nature is like your emotions speak for themselves, and someone else's lack of integrity, lack of nobility, lack of authenticity, or at least maybe they are authentic, but it comes through with all these jarring, destructive, toxic tendencies or something. So yeah, if you've said what you said, then just move along, because it did what it had to do. And then once the clouds pass your situation, so once the argument has passed, it seems like we are also charged with letting the sun shine through into estrangement and repairing the ones that are able to be, because some people are as good as they're going to ever get, right? And so, yeah, your natural responses, though, if your natural response to that is, oh, hell no, honor that. 48 is under the deck, and 64. 48 says, in pursuit of knowledge, every day something is added. In the practice of the Tao, every day something is dropped. Less and less do you need to force things, until finally you arrive at non-action. When nothing is done, nothing is left undone. True mastery can be gained by letting things go their own way. It can't be gained by interfering. Yeah, you can't change somebody's truth. Can't change the family dynamic by yourself. 64, And maybe you're not supposed to. Maybe that is still teaching them what they needed. What is rooted is easy to nourish. What is recent is easy to correct, like an argument, right? What is brittle is easy to break. What is small is easy to scatter. Prevent trouble before it arises. Put things in order before they exist. The giant pine tree grows from a tiny sprout. The journey of 1,000 miles starts from beneath your feet. Again, the pedal to the pavement. Rushing into action, you fail. Trying to grasp at things, you lose them. Forcing a project to completion, you ruin what was almost ripe. Yes, be so patient at this time. Therefore, the master takes actions by letting things take their course. He remains as calm at the end as he was at the beginning. He has nothing. Thus, he has nothing to lose. What he desires is non-desire. Yes, please. What he learns is to unlearn. He simply reminds people of who they've always been. He cares about nothing but the Tao. Thus, he can care for all things. Right, so we're letting something take its course, we're letting something take its time, and we're giving ourselves to, letting ourselves have the permission, giving ourselves the permission to enjoy the journey between here and there where we think that we should be, right? What? I'm getting your hips don't lie, shake it, don't break it under the deck. So somebody might need to get out and dance, especially with the happy feet energy that came through earlier. Just be your authentic self and take care of you, and check back for some of the other messages. We're going to let these dogs out and film the daily Dharma, so catch up with that a little bit later. Take care, guys.